So Tim Barry here, WordPress, and what I want to talk about today is something that keeps coming up time and time again when we get a new client, or a client will come to us because of this very reason, and it's a massive mistake lots and lots of companies make. And what it is it's the transition from I've got an old website and I've got a web developer building a new website for me, a new look and feel. And something you should do, you should periodically update the website so it doesn't look old and dated, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with updating to a new website and creating a whole lot of new pages. The problem is, what happens is, they have their old website, a new website is developed, and then they switch over to the new website. And any ranking that they would have had, gone. Absolutely gone. They're wiped off the face of the earth, and they cannot understand why. All the old ranking is gone, and yet they've added more content. The content is better. They've got more pages on their new site, but they've lost everything. They've lost all the traction that they had previously. And there's a fundamental reason why this happens. Let me see if I can talk you through this process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the general concept now. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some specific examples of how you apply the process that I'm going to describe, and then go a little bit deeper on some subtleties of how you actually do this. So first of all, the basic concept. Here's my old website, and we'll call that old.com. So company's website, whatever their company name is, .com, and there it is with all of the different pages. So these would be different URLs, and they've got different names, and that represents all of the URLs. So it would be URL 1, URL 2, URL 3, URL 4, and so on. So it would be, typically when a page is on there, it would be their domain, old.com, their company name.com, / URL 1. And you just substitute whatever it is the actual page names are. So that's the kind of concept. That would be a typical structure. So what happens then is they contract with a web development company. The web development company then somewhere else on one of their servers, they build the new website. They keep the same domain. So this is still old.com. So that's fine. But then what happens is they create a whole bunch of new pages. So rather than being called URL 1, URL 2 and URL 3, what they do is they call it new. In other words, they have a new name for the URL because it's a new page. Then what happens is they get a whole website built, they make sure that they're happy with it, and then they transfer it. So this is just remapped, this old one is remapped to this one. So this website now points to that domain, and they're up and running with their new domain. Perfect. No problems, you'd think. The reality is, these are all URLs that have PageRank, that Google has indexed and understands has a certain value associated with the page. When you then transfer and you have a whole bunch of new URLs, and these ones disappear, what Google sees is a brand new website with new content on it, which is fine, but then it sees all of the pages being deleted, gone. So any page rank associated with those old pages is also lost. Mm-hmm. So this is how you build a website and create a complete ranking disaster. And I see this time and time again. And the weird thing is, I'll often work with a developer and explain this, and because the developer isn't thinking of it in terms of the business consequence, they're just thinking of it as, this is a cool new website, I'm paid to build a website, give me the money for the website I've built you. They don't think about the business implications. And your ranking, the ability of your website to be visible on the internet, fundamentally affects your business. So you really got to be thinking about this. Now, so what do you do? So that's how to do it wrong. How do you do it right? It's really simple, really. What you do is on the back of one page, say the Contact Us page or the About page, you just have one little link that says Discontinued Pages. That link goes to a list of pages, so it's another page is created, and you have a list of all the old pages. All the old pages are there with the exact URL that they had before, even to the extension. So if the old website had .html on the end, or something else, ASPX, or whatever the extension is, whether there was an extension or not, it's important that that is the URLs on the new site are exactly the same. Google will then index this. Most users aren't going to find it, But Google is going to index it, and they're going to see, Google is going to see all the old pages. And all you do is you take each individual page, exactly as it was on here, and you just add a header to it in the text area saying, page discontinued, click here to visit the new page. And if you've got a one-on-one relationship where there is a specific page that replaces that page, then you just put the link to the new page. If there isn't something that replaces it, then you just have a link going to the home page. And that's it. It's really simple, conceptually, but time and time again, companies get this wrong and lose their rankings. And then they come to me and say, oh, I've lost my rankings, can you help me get it back? If we do it quick, we can just rebuild their old site, if we've got a copy of it somewhere, and just do this process. But once it's de-indexed, once Google sees that that page is gone, it's too late. You're screwed. So anyway, let me show you a specific example of how we've applied this process on a couple of websites.